Yo, what is going on, everyone? Welcome back to Spread of the News. This is episode 19 of Spread of the News. Um, as if you're on YouTube, you could probably see that Brian's not here today. I always start with Brian. Brian wasn't able to make it for today's recording. We're actually recording this a day early. We usually record on Mondays now, but we're recording early because of we're actually going to me and Danny are going to the game tomorrow with some friends. The Mariners game. Brian's also not going to be at the Mariners game, so but me and Danny can take a pic for the Spread of the News
Yeah.
Instagram account. We can post that up
Yep.
there. So
Yeah.
but Danny, as you guys can see, Danny's here. What's going on, Danny? How are you?
Nothing much. I mean, we were recording this at 1 a.m. Sunday night, I guess Monday morning, and I have to wake up in 3 hours. I'm going to Giants training camp. Excited for that. So tomorrow's a New York sports day of fun
Yeah.
with Giants training camp and the Yankee game.
Yeah. Talk about dedication, right? I mean,
Yeah.
you got to be up in 3 hours pretty much, and
3.5.
3.5 hours, and then you got a long. And we both. I mean, I'm not going to the Giants training camp, but we both. You have a long day. I have a semi-long day ahead of us.
It's gonna be rough. A lot of 5-hour energies gonna have to be on deck.
You drink 5-hour energies?
Well, anything to get
Aren't they like
some
really
energy.
bad? Aren't they like really bad for you?
I mean, they could be, but they work.
Hey,
For the most
5-hour
part.
energy, sponsor us if you want to sponsor us,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
But
I'll have one tomorrow. I'll have one every 5 hours, starting at 6 a.m.
to get you through the day,
Yeah,
it'll be perfect.
Yeah.
And then
24-hour energy, baby.
then you'll be having some good water at the game.
Yes.
Some really good water at the game. I'm assuming.
Yeah, of course.
But yeah, tomorrow I'm not to go into that, but I'm really looking forward to tomorrow. Hope me and Danny were just talking before we started. Hopefully, Judge doesn't get a day off tomorrow because he's due for one.
And we thought, well, we'll get into this in a little bit. We thought it would be Luis Castillo's first Mariners start, but he's starting Wednesday now. Kind of stinks. Well, also it doesn't stink because he probably would have shut us down again. But yeah, hopefully Judge does not get a day off. He's due, but he's hot, as he always is.
What stinks about that too is obviously we think Judge is due for a day off, and then J-Rod's not playing.
Yeah,
and
not that I go to see any Mariners players. I honestly I would love to, J-Rod's awesome. Love watching him play, but really I don't really give a shit that he's not in the lineup tomorrow because I'm there for the Yankees. I want to watch my Yankees win. And hey, if him not being in the lineup helps us win, then there we go. It's fine. He doesn't have to be there.
That's the best way to look at it.
Yeah.
It is.
He's fun to watch on TV, whatever. I don't need to see him at Yankee Stadium hitting a home run. Well,
hey, you know what I have seen at Yankee Stadium though? Maybe I don't know if I said this in the last couple episodes, but in the I actually went to the game where Soto hit that ball to like right center that was like 460 up to like the bar area.
You did say that on Twitter.
Yeah, to like the bar area. That was like
that was a
bomb. I was sitting in the right field bleachers, so it went like right past me, and I was like, "Oh my god!" I was like, "What?" not to talk about Soto, but I feel like I always come away from a game with like crazy moment. Like
you have great luck at Yankee games. That's why I love going with you because I throughout my life have had horrible luck. But the game I went with you, we've been to 2 games together. Both games worked out well, but every other Yankee game I've been to in my life has been a loss. Except for when I was 8 and true. I was in Baltimore and they won in Baltimore, but I had never seen a win at Yankee Stadium until we went to the wild card game in 2018. And now I've seen 2 wins at Yankee Stadium.
You might get a toss up with me. You never know. I feel like I bring that kind of luck.
I mean, we're sitting right in Judge home run territory. We might.
Absolutely. We're sitting in good.
No. Hot take. We're sitting in IKF first home run territory.
Wow. I'll throw it back. That's what I'll do. I'll throw it back and I'll get thrown out of the stadium.
You don't get thrown out of the stadium for throwing back opposing teams' home runs, do you?
You do. Yeah, you do.
I think I asked someone at Yankee Stadium last time I was there because I'd throw one back if I caught one. I don't want that ball. But they said if you throw it back right away and don't disturb play, you could stay.
Really?
Yeah. They said if you wait a little bit and then they have to go on the field and the game kind of stops for a little bit, then you're gone.
I didn't know that. That's
risky. Is it worth the risk to throw back a Mariners home run ball? I don't know. But
well, for those who don't know, me and Danny are sitting in, or Danny, me and a bunch of our friends are sitting in left field, a couple rows up. So we're in prime home run territory. So
Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to. I've never sat over there, so that's why I'm looking forward to. I always go like bleacher seats. I've been in the Legend Suite
We had
area.
great seats in right field for the Astros game last year. We were
That
like
is true, actually. We
second row in
did.
right field, right
Yeah,
behind
we
Judge.
did. I forgot
Those were,
about that. We did have pretty good seats for that game.
I always love being in the outfield. I know you kind of like the lines you were saying, but I like the outfield.
Honestly, I feel like you can't get a bad seat in Yankee
You
Stadium.
can, you
You
can. It's not
can't.
like Fenway Park where you could be
We
behind a
were sitting
pole,
behind a pole.
or sitting
Right.
behind a pole, or your seats are facing the outfield, and you have to break your neck to see the plate. Stupid.
It's true though.
Update your stadium.
Yeah, it's true though. You can't get a bad seat, but I'm really excited. So it'll be a lot of fun. Hopefully, Judge doesn't get the day off. So
Hopefully we win. Hopefully we get a win and
hopefully we
hit.
get a win.
There has
It's
been
actually
a couple games this week we couldn't hit, and
That's
hopefully
true. This is my first game all year. So
me too.
oh, is it really you too?
I haven't been to one.
Yeah,
I'm going again in September.
It's
But
funny too because I always go to I feel like 3 or 4 games a year, and this is my first game. We're already in August. So
yeah, I know. I mean we went in May last year. That was, but yeah,
yeah, that's the last game I've been to. I think no, it's not. It's
really.
not.
I went to
No.
Fenway last year for a Yankee
Yeah,
game.
that was
But,
sick.
But yeah, you're talking about Soto hitting that home run, and unfortunately, the Yankees seem to be out of the running. And why is that, Chase?
Oh yeah. So, well, actually, that's not. I've seen some rumors that they're not fully out.
I saw today that the 3 remaining teams with like bids on the table are the Dodgers, Padres, and Cardinals. I saw that report today, but
for those of you who don't know, by the way, Danny, perfect segue there.
I know I was ever since you mentioned the Juan Soto thing, I was waiting to say it. It was in my brain waiting to say it.
You were waiting for that.
Yeah.
So the Yankees actually acquired. Drum roll. They actually acquired Andrew Benintendi. For those who don't already know, so
Huge.
So we were talking a little bit about this on the previous episode about how look out for names like Benintendi, look out for names like Ian Happ. Obviously, the Yankees aren't going to get Ian Happ now. I made that mock trade, so we can throw that out the window. Hopefully, they still get David Robertson though, keeping that dream alive. But we'll see how that goes. But yeah, the Yankees got Benintendi for a pretty good deal, in my opinion. I don't.
Great.
I mean, I don't know these prospects off the top of my head. I have them right here, so forgive me if I pronounce it wrong. But the Royals got TJ Sikkema, who is the Yankees' number 19 prospect on MLB Pipeline. And they got Beck Way, the number 21 prospect, and Chandler Champlain. Something like that. But
Who
yeah,
cares? We're not going to need to know his name now. He's gone.
right. So, and I forget who it was that said it in our group chat, but I think it was Jacob or Brian, but I think it was Jacob. He said, like, it's always a good feeling when the Yankees trade prospects that you don't know who they are because like for a good player, because obviously that means it was probably a good trade. Like, for example, like when the Yankees got Giancarlo Stanton, they traded Starlin Castro and Jose Devers, like Rafael Devers' cousin, which is wild. But yeah, I love the trade. I love that trade. I love how he fits in the lineup, the lefty bat. I love the contact. I love the high on base percentage. I've always said he's a guy that hits good pitching. He's got the World Series experience. He can hit anywhere in the lineup. Danny, how did you feel when you got the news? Let me hear your reaction.
I felt amazing. I saw it. Look, it was coming. We'll get into the Mets series later in the episode, but it just come off a tough game against the Mets. And about an hour or so after the game, we get the notification. Andrew Benintendi coming to the Yanks for they didn't even give up a top 15 prospect. They barely gave up a top 20 prospect, with the highest being 19. And I'm looking at, I forgot about the Mets loss. It's like, we just got better. I don't care what just happened tonight. Tonight was a win. It felt like a win. And it's a funny story because Andrew Benintendi flew with the Royals to the Bronx because they were playing the Yankees for a 4-game series. He's in the Royals team hotel, and their manager comes to his room and like, nah, you're playing for the other team tomorrow. Go to the other locker room when you get to the stadium. Like, pretty cool that he was already there. He didn't have to fly because it's very rare that if a player gets traded that late at night that they play the next day. But he was already in New York, so he hit leadoff the next day. And just quickly, his stats in Kansas City this year, for anybody wondering, he's hitting .320, which I know a lot of you will like out there. .387 on base. He doesn't provide much of the long ball in Kansas City, but as we know, Yankee Stadium, left-handed bat, maybe he could just improve those numbers a little bit. So his OPS is at 785, which isn't bad. That is above league average. But obviously, when you're hitting 320 and getting on base at that rate, he's a huge part to what the Yankees need going forward, and he will be a huge part of when we win the World Series. And he has that experience. He's a World Series champion. He's played in the playoffs. He was the runner-up Rookie of the Year to Judge in 2017. But
and not to mention the fact that he rakes in Yankee Stadium too. Like we know he like when he was with the Red Sox. Like I was telling you guys, I'm not even exaggerating. Like when Benintendi was a Red Sox, he was my least favorite player in Major League Baseball, and like I absolutely couldn't stand him, and I'll be the first to admit it. But of course, now that he's on the good guys, I love the trade. I think it was like exactly what they needed, and we don't know yet about the vaccination status, but I assume that it's probably okay because I feel like the Yankees probably wouldn't have traded for him anyways if they were worried about it. Because he's obviously, like we said, Danny, a big bat in the lineup, especially if they were to go to Toronto for some playoff games. So, I have to imagine they're not worried. So I'm not worried. But
can't be worried. However, his first 4 games as a Yankee didn't go great. He had 1 infield single, which produced a run, an RBI single, infield single, whatever. But again, it's 4 games, new scene.
Gotta let him settle in. Gotta let him settle in.
Tough adjustment. He will settle in, I think. I hope.
Now we don't know how we feel about the trade.
No, great trade. A trade that had to be made. Because, yeah, like you could say, oh, we wanted Hap, we wanted Soto, whatever. But what we gave up was nothing. We gave up nothing. Realistically, the Yankees could, if they wanted, they still have the ammunition in their farm system, Gleyber Torres too, to trade for Soto and Montas. They really could. Obviously, they won't. Most likely won't, which obviously they don't need to. I'll be fine if they don't. I think we do need a starting pitcher, but we still have a lot of guys in the farm system, and we have a lot of guys to trade now because we didn't give up that much value, which is great.
Yeah, and for a little context, me, Danny, Brian, and our friend Schnur again, Jacob Schnur, we were all on FaceTime the other night until like, what was it, Danny? Like 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning, just talking Yankees baseball, and it honestly could have been a good pod episode, to be honest. But we were talking about it, and we were like these prospects that are so even like top prospects, like we were going through all the bunch like the Yankee top prospects that never panned out, like the Chance Adams, the Jackson Fraziers, as Brian would say, the Miguel Andujars, the Justice Sheffields, you name it. I mean, the list just goes on. And for the Yankees to trade these 3 pitching prospects that they traded for Benintendi, there's really no harm in it because you go that far down in the farm system, like everything has to fall in place for one of those players to even hit and be a big leaguer, like an effective big leaguer. So I loved that trade. I think it was, I would say it's, if I had to put a grade on it, I would say high end B+.
B+.
Yeah.
Dude, it's got to be in the A range. It's got to be in the A range.
The only reason why it's not A range for me is because they could have gotten Juan Soto. But
you can't put that in the grade, though. You're looking at the trade, the isolated trade. Don't look at it.
Okay.
What Soto's doing. The isolated trade, no top 15 prospects for a guy like Andrew Benintendi.
An all-star, a guy that's hitting over 300.
Come on.
All right. You know what? You're right. I'm going A-. What do you got? What do you got?
Solid A. Solid A. Give him a 95. Nice solid A. It's just, you couldn't ask for anything better, really. Like, you see, what did we give up? We're waiting because it's always once you make the trade, you're excited, but then it's always the waiting game of what we gave up. And again, you look at those lists of prospects, it's names I've heard briefly, but
I think the only name I've heard was like TJ Sycamore.
Yeah, but
and
not
I think
enough.
It was probably like from when he was drafted.
Again, it's not the guys in our top 15. No top 15 prospects. And then we see Luis Castillo. And at this point, we get Andrew Benintendi. Seemingly, Juan Soto's out of the picture. Obviously, I think we're a lock for Luis Castillo. Was that the case, Mr. Carucci?
No, Danny, it wasn't. And I'm gonna agree with you there. I thought we were a lock too, and I know Brian can say would say the same thing because he expressed that to us that he thought we were a lock too. It just seemed like everything was falling into place for Luis Castillo. It seemed
Cut his
from what we
hair.
from what we were reading from the reports is that they loved Peraza. They really wanted Peraza, at least before he was traded. That's what we heard. And honestly, like what I mean, to put it as simply as this, I won't bore the fans with a Mariners trade, but to put it simply, like we just got outbid. Like it's that simple because the Mariners gave up what was it, like 3 of their top 5
Yeah,
prospects?
they gave up their 1, their 3, their 5. And again, you don't compare. It's hard to compare that, but the Yankees 1, 3, and 5 is it's that would be Volpe, Dominguez, and Waldichuk, which is obviously too much
That's
value to give
yeah.
up for Luis Castillo, who was obviously a very good player. We wanted him on the team, but I think that that's just too much to give up. But and they said, of course, the report that comes out later that night, such like a Yankee report to come out that we were close. The
Yeah.
Yankees were close. We were close. We almost had it. They liked our deal. We were close, but just not as good as the Mariners deal. And whatever. I wouldn't want to give up that much. Good job on them. They're a good team. They're hot right now. I'm
Yeah.
excited to see them tomorrow.
It, it's
It's gonna
it's
be a good
easy
game.
it's easy to look at the trade and be disappointed because
We
I
didn't
would
get them.
think he would be a game changer in the Bronx for us.
Yeah.
But there's still some good starters on the market. So let's talk about that for a second. Like they still have the chance to get Carlos Rodon. He pitched
Yep.
today.
He had a great game tonight.
Pitched great tonight. They can still go for Pablo Lopez. He's been not the best starter for Miami because they have Sandy, but
I mean,
he's probably their second best starter.
yeah. I
Pablo
mean,
Lopez is having a really good year.
the
They can go
Mets
out
knocked
to
him
it.
out early today, though.
Praying to God they don't go for Paul Blackburn. Praying to
Oh,
God.
don't
Oh my God,
even, don't
that
even
would be
say
such a
it. Don't even
Yankees.
say it.
That would be such a.
Paul Blackburn has over a 5 ERA on the A's.
We were scared that they were gonna get Paul Blackburn. I was actually. I can't speak for you, Danny, but I was scared because I was seeing rumors that he got pulled after like 60 pitches after that Yankee
Yeah.
prospect got pulled. What was it? Was
Pereira.
it Pereira?
Everson
Pereira got pulled in like the 8th inning, and then Paul Blackburn got pulled at the same time. So I was like, I wasn't feeling that. I was like, what's going on here? But I mean, I still look at the market like they can easily. I think they could easily trade for Pablo Lopez and Carlos Rodon if they wanted to. And
Yeah, I mean, they can. They can make a lot of moves if they want to. They have a good farm system, as they always do. They always do, but they elect to hold on to the prospects instead of trading them, and it doesn't get them anywhere. But
I wouldn't even hate if they traded for Rodon and they somehow managed to get Jock in the deal because we know Jock Peterson is a playoff hero. He's been his whole career a playoff hero, which is what the Yankees need.
yeah, I mean,
But
hey, I would love Jock. Jock is one of my favorite players in the league.
you swap out, like obviously assuming you trade Joey Gallo, you take Gallo off the roster, you plug in Jock Peterson. Hey, I'm not complaining with that.
I mean, yeah, I guess. I love Jock. He would have a great Yankee Stadium swing. Again, guys with history in the big games, just like Benintendi has that history. Jock would have that history. And Rodon though apparently likes to hurt his teammates. He kicked
Former Yankee.
he kicked the bat at former Yankee Tyro Estrada the other day, and Tyro Estrada went down. That was not great to see. You don't love that. And I know last year, I think it was last year, he was like smacking his glove against the dugout, and he hit someone in the face behind him.
Did he now?
Yeah.
So what is he, a toxic teammate?
Yeah, I guess he just loves hurting his teammates, which I don't know. I would not like to see Judge get smacked in the eye with a Rodon glove.
Oh man, that would be so Yankees, dude. like the time when Judge's tooth got knocked out in a walk-off celebration.
Yeah.
You remember that?
Yeah.
That would be so Yankees. Yeah. Well, they can take that avenue though. They can go Carlos, or they can go Pablo Lopez, like we said.
Montas.
Even Montas. I didn't even mention Montas. Thank you. Yeah. I didn't even mention Montas.
Yeah, I mean Montas though this year has been battling injury. He just came back off the IL, and then he left the other day with a shoulder problem. It's not his day to day, so it's not expected to be that like serious to keep him out, but it's just something to monitor because we know the Yankees' injury history hasn't been the best. And if he comes over here and then that shoulder injury
flares up,
flares up, he's not as good, or he misses time, that would suck. So
Yeah.
again, we talk about Joey Wendell all the time too. Package him in with Pablo Lopez. That would be
more than ideal.
yes.
You can't even ship IKF out, but get him off the starting lineup. Get him out of the starting lineup.
Get him out of here.
I mean,
dude, I'm seeing on Twitter there are so many IKF like lovers.
Lovers,
you wouldn't believe it.
Yes, I saw it.
You wouldn't believe it.
I think it was you. I think it was you that sent me the picture that was like he's a modern, or no, he's like a baby Trey Turner.
A mini Trey Turner. My cousin sent me that tweet today, and I sent it to you guys, and of course got ignored because you guys are assholes.
Well, I was in a hot tub, so.
Oh.
Sorry, buddy.
So this guy on Twitter said IKF is a mini Trey Turner. Yes, his defense is a little down this year, but he's still great. He's still great. Great?
Insane.
He's great?
What
are you saying? That is Brady K217 on Twitter. What are you saying, Brady?
That's like eating Subway and saying, "Wow, this is good."
Stop. I love Subway. Get out of here.
Get out of here.
You
don't love Subway.
Are you kidding me?
Oh my God.
Cold cut combo, you cannot beat it.
You love
Come
Subway?
on. Subway is better than Jersey Mike's. I'll take Subway over Jersey Mike's any day.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I love Subway. The Italian herbs and cheese bread, you can't beat that.
Subway sponsor us.
What do you mean? You just shit on them. You can't.
Jersey Mike sponsor us. No, but regardless of, we'll be on the Subway tomorrow. So yeah, you like that? You like that?
Nice.
No, but what were we even talking about? IKF? Oh, Joey Wendell.
IKF and Joey Wendell. Yeah.
Obviously Marvin Gonzalez is not a long-term solution. Obviously IKF is not a solution. So, and if they're, well, I mean, even Peraza would be a solution if they don't trade Peraza, which can totally happen.
Yeah.
I mean,
what I'm hoping is that they're waiting till after the trade deadline. And the trade deadline is 6 p.m. on August 2nd. So by the time this comes out, that is tomorrow at 6 p.m. And I'm hoping they've been holding on to Peraza. Boone's been saying all this BS about IKF being exactly what they wanted. Hopefully it's all BS. Because they're holding him in the minors for the trade value. Either they'll trade him, and if he's not traded, then we'll see him up in the majors. That's what I'm hoping for.
Right.
So if Peraza isn't on the move, hopefully he'll be up come August, mid-August. Hope.
Please.
Because I can't see IKF.
Well, not even just hitting, Danny. Not even just hitting. Yeah. We can go into specifics in a little bit.
Yeah. The outs above average thing that we saw on balls hit in front of him. In front of him, among qualified infielders, there was 266. So that's the range in front of him. Obviously, you need the advanced stats to whatever in front of him means. But he ranks out of 266.
Give it to me.
Infielders. Mm-hmm. He ranks 266. On balls hit directly in front of him. Yeah, that hurts. That hurts. And somehow he only has 11 errors on the year because the official score is his brother or something.
It's so bad. It's so bad.
I think the official score is his brother. But
why do you say his brother, by the way? Is there like a reason behind that? Or is it just like
every time he makes an error, they don't give him an error?
No, I know, but why does it have to be his brother? Like, why couldn't it be his dad?
Could have been his best friend too. I don't know. It's just it's just what I said.
Well, speaking of trades, I was hoping that we were gonna get some breaking news like while we were on the pod because that would be sick. But so hopefully something happens here within the next X amount of minutes that we're on recording here. But
checking my phone, Twitter keeps going, and
we were gonna do an emergency pod for the Benintendi trade, but none of us are home, so like we didn't do it. But and then we were gonna do or we were planning on doing an emergency pod, obviously if a big move transpired, but that hasn't happened yet. And if something happens tomorrow night while we're at the game, that can't happen either. So unless if we're on the train and we just hook something up. I'll post
a video. I'll post just a selfie video on Instagram.
Yeah, that'll work. We could do that. And honestly, odds are like I mean, I don't know about you, like, but I'm expecting a move for a pitcher. No, I don't. Yeah, like, I don't know who it's gonna be.
You would want Montas, right? Even though with the injury concerns.
You know what? I think I'd rather have Carlos Rodon.
Yeah, I mean, you know what they say though. The best ability is what? Availability.
Oh yeah.
So if they're gonna, If they're
Well,
going to
the
trade for
report,
someone who has injury problems, then I don't know. I'd rather go for the guy that's sure thing going to be healthy.
and obviously he's got the track record over the last 2 years, so
Yeah.
um,
Yeah.
I think he would be a lot of fun in the Bronx. But
It would be, and obviously, like we say he's hurting his teammates, but I mean that's the energy we need. Not hurting your teammates, but like being fired up in the dugout. Being fired up in the dugout, that's the energy we need on this team. Obviously we have a lot of it, but couldn't hurt to get more. No.
right, right. We need that. We need something. We need something because, man, I mean, this rotation has been disappointing lately. I mean, has it actually? I don't know.
No, it hasn't. Yes, Monty has been disappointing. Herman is booty. Tyone is obviously up and down, which he's supposed to be.
Nestor's been really good though.
Nestor's been great again. Cole has been shaky. Like,
Yeah, they need something, dude. They need something, and like we said, we're expecting the move. So hopefully, look out for that content. If a big move is made, look out for either a Danny Instagram video. Maybe hopefully we'll be on the train tomorrow. Me and Danny can just be like this together,
Sure.
celebrating on the train.
how about let's vlog the game tomorrow. Let's vlog it on
Vlog it?
Instagram story. Tune into the Instagram story. I'll vlog it.
Should we do that? We could do that.
Post some videos walking into the stadium. Instagram story. Maybe post them on Twitter.
Let's do that. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm down for that.
Yeah, vlog it.
That'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what I got on the trade talk on the trade front, Danny. Unless you've got something else to.
No, just we need a pitcher, and we need it now. Let's go. We've been waiting. Yes, we got the Benintendi move, but it has been very slow. The trade deadline, very very slow.
I still think they could use another bat, but I don't think that's realistic at this point.
They can, but yeah, unless they
Like,
package
Danny,
in Jock.
Dude, Danny, like Josh Donaldson, dude,
Oh.
he can't like. Is he? Can you DFA a guy that's making 20 million? Like, can you do
No.
that?
No.
You can't do it, right?
No, unless you're Steve Cohen and you'll write him a check right out of your pocket to get off my team, like you did to Cano.
I
But-
actually think he's approaching DFA territory.
That trade, we say it makes us better. Honestly, I still think it helped us kind of because I mean, getting those guys like Gary off the team, like we kind of needed to change the scenery, like with the players at least. But based on skill wise on the field, it hasn't done anything. Both Donaldson and IKF have been very.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Wait!
Soto,
Wait!
whoa, was that fake? I just saw.
I
that
don't know
today.
what that was.
It went away. Did it go away for you
Yeah, it
too?
went away from me.
I think it was fake. That
I
was.
think it was fake. Oh
That was
my
a
god!
Gabe thing.
I almost just had a heart attack.
Gabe got me today. Playoff Tanaka on Twitter got me today with Carlos Rodon to the Yankees.
Did he? That was.
He said because he changed his name to New York Yankees. So like the Yankees have traded for Carlos Rodon and put a bunch of prospects in there. So when I saw it, it said New York Yankees tweeted, and I'm like, oh shit! But then I realized it was him.
Dude, I actually almost.
My heart just dropped. All right,
Yeah.
so if anybody, obviously, you won't know what we're talking about, but we just got this tweet on our cell phones that Soto to the Rangers is now official. I go out to open it and it disappeared. So
Yeah, it said
I'm
the
guessing he
tweet was-
deleted it and it was fake, but that made my heart drop a
And
little
it
bit.
said
Bob Nightingale.
Bob Nightingale. So I was
Yeah.
like, hold on. I always thought we got some groundbreaking news there.
Imagine
on the-
right after you say it, but it wasn't Yankees news.
I mean, dude, breaking a Soto trade would still be sick, but I don't know, man. That would have been really fun to break down, even though it's not Yankees, like you said. But
Yeah, I mean, hey, it's fun. We like talking about the league too. Love baseball, so.
oh, of course, absolutely.
But yeah, Jesus, that actually scared the shit out of me.
Yeah, because I was like, oh, and I looked at you, and you like just went straight to your phone. You were like, what happened? But what were we talking? Oh, Donaldson.
Yeah.
Donaldson. I mean, I could have even made Donaldson my Yankee of the week. That's like how much I want to
Yeah.
talk about him, but like we shouldn't talk about him for this episode, I guess. But
Yeah.
But just to leave it at that, I mean, he like Danny, I can't even say he's been like, I don't know what the numbers say, but I can't even say like with my eye test that he's been a great defender this year. Because
No, he's been good at third.
I
I think based on the eye test, he's been good at third. He still has a positive WAR, and he's not hitting, so that kind of.
I saw his home numbers today. I think he's only like one homer at home. He's at like a 180 average. Like, dude,
And he loves to pimp doubles.
doubles.
Loves
He
to
loves
pimp
to pimp.
doubles.
He loves to pimp routine fly balls to the wall. Like, come on.
He
But
has defensive run save. He has 9-9. So that's good.
yeah, that's solid. That's solid. But
He has, yeah, him and DJ at third have been very good over there, but he is not good at the plate at all.
look,
At all.
I'm not gonna grade that trade, the Gary Sanchez trade. Shout out Gary.
Gary,
Every week we
I
get
was
that.
wondering today how would he get his name in.
Every week we get the Gary trade in, or we get Gary's name in. But I'm not gonna break that down until at least until the season's over because. But right now it's really not looking good for both sides. It's like the most mid trade.
Yeah, it's like really did nothing because I mean think about it. I mean IKF sucks, Josh Donaldson sucks, Ben Wardfed isn't real, and they got Gary Sanchez and Gio Urshela. But
yeah, Ben Wardfed doesn't exist.
I'm not convinced. I'm not convinced he is a real person.
Have you ever seen a picture of him in Yankees gear?
No,
never.
No. I just saw that one picture of him that he looked jacked on the Twins, but like they could have got that from anywhere. Who knows? Who knows
they
how
could
that
have picked up some dude from the gym.
Yeah. Said, pretend you got traded to the Yankees.
Yeah, exactly.
But Josh Donaldson is 217 this year with a 296 on base, 669 OPS. Not
Dude,
good.
That's horrible.
Not good. Only 9 home runs.
So if we have any listeners that still gets confused over OPS, on base percentage, or anything like that, if your OPS is 660, whatever that Danny just said, and you're making that amount of money,
the MLB average is about.
You gotta go.
The MLB average is about 750 OPS, and that's on base plus slugging. I think we might have explained it before, but just in case, it's on base plus slugging. So basically, it's your all around hitting stats. It's how well you get on base, and it's how well you get extra base hits, because that slugging percentage is extra base hits, and obviously extra base hits, more runs. Basically, how that works. So it's combining your ability to get on base plus your ability to drive runs home and all that. And a 750 is about average. You take 700 for like a catcher, like whatever, for a guy that's there for defense. But if you're under 700, you're bad.
Yeah. And for someone that hits the ball as hard as Josh Donaldson, I mean,
yeah, he has had a lot of hard hit balls that he gets unlucky with, but you can only be unlucky so many times when you're hitting 217 and
we saw that. Who did we see that with?
Joey Gallo.
Yep, exactly. Well,
wait. Why is he still playing? Let me ask you that. Why the hell is he still playing? Why the fuck is he still playing?
You think I know?
Oh my God.
I'm saying he's going to be on the team in August.
Okay, it's August right now. He's still on the team.
Okay, well,
you can say that.
I mean.
He will not be on the team August 2nd at 6:01 p.m. He will not be on this team.
If Joey Gallo gets traded, do we have an emergency pod?
We have to. It's a celebration. It's a celebration. That's a pod party at that point. We need him gone. I'd be more excited about Gallo leaving than us getting Soto.
Yeah.
No, definitely not. But he's got to go. He's got to go.
Yeah.
He's got to go.
I don't know, dude. He's mad. I'm not going into that. Anyways, let's Danny, let's do our Yankee of the week, because we always start with that. And obviously, I don't know how far we are into this episode right now, but we should do that.
You don't have that down?
I'll get mine out of the way, since mine's the obvious one.
Really? Who could it be? Who has been the best player in Major League Baseball all season and continue that this week?
Yes. That would be Matt Carpenter.
Matt
Carpenter. No, I'm kidding. Aaron Judge. I don't know his middle name. Now I'm curious.
Aaron James Judge.
James, nice. Nickname BAJ. Born and raised Linden, California. 32nd overall pick in the 2013 MLB draft. Aaron Judge, man, is just, I almost feel like, I'm always saying this, I almost feel like these guys take my comments personally. Like when I was saying that Josh Donaldson sucked and I was highlighting him for my Yankee of the week, the whole next week he was raking like prime Josh Donaldson. Then I think Joey Gallo did the same thing earlier in the year, and he had like a 260 batting average over like a 8-game stretch or something like that. These guys take my comments personally, because I said that I wanted Judge not that I want to Judge. I said that if the Yankees wanted to replace Soto with Judge and let Judge walk this
Replace
offseason,
Judge with Soto. Yeah.
I'm perfectly okay with that, which I still am.
Yeah,
But
you still would
but
be.
Judge is another guy that took my comments personally because man, over the last, I obviously for Yankee of the Week, I'm gonna highlight the last 7 games, but man, I need to talk about his last 30 because of how insane this guy has been. I mean, Danny, let me give you some of his numbers. I'm sure you looked at them. I looked at some of them already, but his last 30 games, he's a 750 slug for a 414 on base percentage and a 304 average. 5 stolen bases over the last 30, by the way.
10 for
5
10 on the
stolen
year.
bases,
He's 10 for 10 on the year.
19 walks, 15 home runs over his last 30 games with 38 RBIs over his last 30.
On.
Dude, unbelievable what this guy is doing right now. Last 15 games, 404 average, 514 on base percentage, over a 1 point, obviously 1,000 slug. I don't know why I'm saying 1 point, but 1,000 slug. 2 stolen bases in that stretch, and 12 home runs, 12 big flies over that stretch of his last 15 games. Unreal what this guy is doing. And
My Lord.
I don't know if you saw Danny, but he just passed. I don't know who the player was, but he just passed the old leader in terms of multi home run games for the New York Yankees. I think he has 12 now multi home run games. So he just passed whoever that leader was.
Second fastest player in history to 200 home runs.
Behind Ryan Howard, right? Yeah,
Yep.
I saw that. And his last 7 games, 6 home runs in his last 7 games. So like you would think, okay, like maybe these maybe he slowed down a little bit over his last. No, Judge is not. I mean, he did go over 3 today, but
he's in a slow. Trade him. Get him out of here.
Judge has hitting 370 for a 500 on base percentage with an over a 1,000 slug with 6 homers. I already said those 6 homers, 12 RBIs. I'm speechless, Danny, because he hit the walk-off against the Royals the other day when the Yankees had nothing going for them. I just hit my mic. When the Yankees had nothing going for them all game to bring them to a 1-0 victory, and he had 2 home runs in the game when they scored like 11 runs or whatever it was against the Royals. After that rain delay, I mean, dude, one of them was a grand slam. Danny, I've been talking a lot about Aaron Judge, BAJ. I'm speechless.
Oh.
What do you have on big Aaron Judge?
Man.
Yeah.
MVP. MVP. Don't give me that Shohei Ohtani anymore. I know last week.
No.
Me too. Last week, what did I say? Front runner for MVP right now. What did I say? I said Shohei Ohtani. It was the front runner for MVP.
You did, and I agree with you.
And Aaron Judge actually texted me last night saying I took yours and Chase's comments personally. he texted me, but he
I almost just spit water everywhere.
This past week I'm stalking Mets to he had 5 home runs this week, including the home run that the last 7 games says 6 home runs, but that includes the last Sunday game. But we talked about that already in the last episode. It's just like every time he comes up, it's what is he gonna do? It's all eyes are on him every time. And today he got up with the chance to tie the game in the 9th, and he hit it right in front of the warning track. I thought he was gonna come through. He just missed it.
He did just miss that, yeah.
Whatever. He can't come through all the time. Like I said, he's in a big slump now because he went 0 for 3 today. So
yeah.
No, he is awesome. And how do you picture him? And we've been saying all year, 61 home runs, American League record, Yankees record, 61 home runs. No, let's get to 73. Barry Bonds, come here. Come on, Barry. He had at this point.
Come on, Barry.
I don't know what it is now.
Put that on a shirt. Come on, Barry.
Come on, Barry. Reggie Stocker. But after the Saturday game, Judge was on pace for 67 home runs. Probably after today, he's back down to 66. But still, if he has another hot stretch like this, that could easily go up to him being on pace for 70. Then if he has another hot stretch, that could go on pace for 75. He could break the home run record. And then a lot of people will say if he gets to 65, that he broke the home run record, the clean home run record, because obviously McGuire, Sosa, Bonds, they had little performance-enhancing drug help, but I'm not going to be the one to say that because I think their records should hold. Barry Bonds is the greatest player of all time.
They won't hold when Judge passes.
But they will not hold it. Because
when Judge doesn't
we're not even
pass
going to have to have that conversation of clean this, clean that. Like, because he's going to hit 75. Remember when I said on the pod, you asked me if he was going to get to 60? I joked and said, he's not hitting 60. He's not hitting 70. He's hitting 80.
Yeah.
Who knows? Who knows?
No, you're right.
At this point, who knows? I said it as a joke at the time, but now, who knows what he could do, what he's capable of.
And, dude, I honestly, like, this offense lives and dies by Aaron Judge. Like, it does. It's so obvious how.
The whole team does. Not even the whole team does.
It's so obvious how much of a I think catalyst is the perfect word, because when Judge is going, everything is going. And it's like, and that's what we've seen over, I can't even say that's what we've seen over this last stretch, because they went 3-1 against the Royals and they lost 2 to the Mets. But it's true though. That's what it feels like. Am I wrong? Like when Judge is going, everything else is going right.
Yeah, it is. You are right, because he's awesome, and he is the best player in Major League Baseball right now. He is the MVP, and I just went back. I mean, I'll win $250 if Aaron Judge wins MVP. I went back into a little bet I made. I haven't bet I don't bet, but like I made one on Aaron Judge to win MVP in February. Completely forgot about it and went back last week and was like, oh crap, I could win $250. Completely forgot about it. But Aaron, play for the Yankees, play for me. Let's go. Keep going.
There you go, buddy.
Now, but we'll win the World Series with him as a leader. World Series MVP, early prediction, Judge.
Imagine. Oh my God, I would probably cry tears of joy.
We're going to the parade, right? Let's already make plans.
Absolutely. I would love to go to the parade if it happens. I don't know if they'll get past Houston. I don't know if they'll get past Houston, but that's a conversation for a different day.
Oh my God. Do the rest of the pod yourself.
Aaron Judge, just for reference, I bring this up every time we speak on him. He's at 42 home runs right now. I had him at 43 to start the year. It's August 1st. He's at 42.
Think he's going to beat it?
He's yeah, right. Yeah. He still has over a month and a half of baseball to play, and he's at 42 home runs.
It's unreal.
It's
unreal.
I'm always tweeting Danny on the Spread in the News account on Twitter. Obviously, I'm always saying appreciate this season because you're never gonna see this again. At least from a Yankee, you're not gonna see this
until next year when he tops it.
Maybe, but or at least until the next Yankee great, which seems like we get a Yankee great. Like seems like another Yankee great comes through every time the last great retires. Like it was before Jeter, it was Mattingly, and then after Jeter, it's Judge. And
are you saying like all time great, like leader wise too, like all around, not just wise? Because
what was it? It was
statistically wise. There's been a lot of great Yankees.
Well, of course, but it was like what was it? Babe Ruth. Then it was Lou Gehrig. Then it was Joe DiMaggio.
Go all the way back there. I remember watching Babe Ruth. Yeah, he was here for the team.
Then it was Joe DiMaggio.
Yeah.
Shout out to Nick Stanko, by the way. Nick Stanko wears number 3 for Babe Ruth.
Yeah, his favorite player to watch of all time.
Nick Stanko wore number 3 when he played baseball for Babe Ruth. So shout out to him for that.
So stupid.
Yeah, I'll finish off the Judge just by saying it's August 1st. At the moment of recording this, he has 42 home runs, and he has a month and a half of baseball left to get to which he can to that 70. What was it? 74 mark.
73, I believe.
73. So, I personally don't think that'll happen. But I also, if you asked me a month ago,
don't doubt him.
Judge would have 42 home runs by August 1st. I would say you're crazy. So, Aaron Judge, you've left me speechless, my boy.
Again.
Thank you. And that's a mic drop.
Nice. But we still got more to talk about.
True.
So, my Yankee of the week.
Who's it going to be, Danny?
I'm going to keep it short. Not much really to talk about. Not a lot really to talk about. I know we want to get to the Mets series because that's a big part of the week. My Yankee of the week is going to be Aroldis Chapman. Aroldis Chapman. We, as well as a lot of Yankee fans, have talked a lot of shit about Aroldis Chapman, deservedly so. because he has been one of
Last
the
week, just last week, we were
just
talking
last
shit
week.
about him.
He has been one of the worst relievers in baseball for the past calendar year, maybe a year and a half now, because I know we said that a while ago. But this week, no complaints. He had a great week. He had 3 outings this week, all scoreless. Kept us in games. He came in close games, and every time he comes in, it's still like, oh, why the hell are they bringing Chapman in? But he's done the job. He's done a great job. He against the Royals twice. He did it. Mets once. He kept it. He kept the deficit at bay. But for a guy that has blown so many games recently, and who just looks like he's lost out there on the mound, it is great. This week, it kind of seemed like his confidence is a little back. And Clay Holmes has been struggling. My boy Clay Holmes, he hasn't looked as sharp. And again, you can attest that to him playing a lot more now.
He needs a rest,
Most he's pitched ever.
He needs
But
a rest for sure.
he does. I agree, and he blew the game again today. But if we could have Chapman back, that just goes a long way. I'm not saying put Chapman back in the closer role. I don't think that should happen. Again, I wouldn't trust that to happen. But I also don't know if Clay could do it either. Like, we don't know if Clay could last to the playoffs and be really, really good. Because again, he's never done it in his career. And he's kind of looked like he's burned out a little bit already. But again, like we said, we need to trade for a bullpen arm. But Chapman, this week, confidence, little up. I'm not going to say it's all the way back. I'm not even going to say it's close to being back, but progress.
He's definitely earned some brownie points for sure.
Progress. Yes.
For sure.
He's no longer going to be coming in 16-0 routes like he was when he first came back from injury. But
and he was blowing the game in a 16-0 route.
Yeah, right. He let up 17 runs. No. But no, great week from him. 3 scoreless innings. Love to see it. And he looked good too. It's not just like he got lucky. He looked good.
Yeah, he did. And I think you pretty much hit the nail on the head, Danny, about Chapman. And I'm just gonna highlight the bullpen in general, and then we can talk about the Mets. But I mean, last week we talked about how Michael King went down and how this bullpen was looking helpless. Well, over the last week, the whole bullpen actually has pitched really well.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and I was saying that like these guys like Loaizaga have to step up, but like Clark has stepped up. Ron Marinaccio has stepped, even though he gave up a run today, but Ron Marinaccio has stepped up.
Mm-hmm.
Clark, Marinaccio, Loaizaga's looked a little bit better. Like you said, Chapman's looking a little bit better. So it gives you that extra little bit of confidence. I still think they need to acquire a reliever. Not sure if it'll happen. I hope it does, but we've definitely, and obviously Herman too. Like if they get a starter, they'll put Herman in the bullpen, which I think would be a good fit for him.
I think that would be good. I don't trust him as a starter, but I think coming out of the bullpen, I think he would be.
Yeah, I think he'd be really effective as a bullpen guy.
I think I texted you about this. I think this is a great question to bring up here on the pod. Come playoff time, who goes to the bullpen, who sticks in the rotation? Because usually you see a 4-man rotation, sometimes even 3. But when you get to like the LCSs in the World Series, you kind of need that 4-man just because there's the 2 extra games if needed. But
right,
I think Sevy and Herman out of the bullpen would be great. Yeah, I like Sevy as a starter, but again, he's hurt, and I think he profiles better as a reliever than say Jordan Montgomery, like Tyone. I think you need the guy that with that velocity coming out of the bullpen, and plus obviously he has a lot of movement. I think he because like then you throw Montgomery maybe in a game 4 and put him on a short leash. He goes 4, Sevy goes 3. We're right there for our big guys in the bullpen. So I think that is kind of how the projection.
I'm in agreement with you.
As much as I'd love to see Sevy starting a playoff game, I think if anybody from the rotation has to go to the bullpen, I think it should be him.
I'm definitely with you on that, and I think it would probably go. Assuming they don't acquire anyone, it would be Cole, Nestor, I'm blanking. Oh my God, Tyone Montgomery, and then like you said, Sevy to the bullpen.
Oof.
So, but that shows you why they need a starter, because I don't trust those 4 in a playoff series.
I trust the first 2. I don't trust the second 2.
And but obviously, if you get a Frankie Montas, if you get a Pablo Lopez, a Carlos Rodon, then you'll have one of those guys slot in the number 2 role, and then I'm feeling a lot better, because then you have Nestor starting a game 3, and Nestor shows he gets jobs done.
And for him in game 3, that's huge.
Yeah, and then you got And then
ALDS
at
sweep.
that point, I would move Tyone to the bullpen and keep Montgomery in the game 4 role.
See, like I don't know how. I think one of those three, Severino, Herman, Tyone, would have to be left off the playoff roster, unfortunately. And if Herman doesn't find it, it would probably be him.
Be Herman.
Yeah.
I mean, if Sevy's healthy, you can't leave him off the playoff
You
roster.
can't leave. No, Sevy, Tyone. It feels like you can't because he has been solid.
He's pitched well enough to earn that.
Yeah, but
Right?
think about it. If we're using a 4-man rotation, I wouldn't want him coming out of the bullpen. Like he's not a guy like Sevy. Like we say, Sevy. Even Herman. I like those guys. I trust more out of the bullpen for some reason. It's just like he's not. It just
like
doesn't feel
like a feeling you get.
pitcher. Yeah, it's not a bullpen pitcher. Again, velocity wise.
Yeah, I could see that, but I mean, I don't know how realistic that is. But
Yeah.
I can see that. I see where you're coming from though. I do. I don't know if I like Tyone as a bullpen role, but he would.
I also don't like him off the playoff roster though. I feel like he needs to
exactly. Maybe you just platoon him with Montgomery. Well, you can't because then he would be a bullpen role.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Can't really
I guess we'll cross that bridge when we get there, right?
Yeah.
First, we'll see. First, we'll see who they acquire, and then we can break this down perhaps in the next episode.
And it depends on who they're playing against. Again, like this is where stats come into play. If they're playing against a team that hits righties better, go
Right.
Montgomery. Vice versa for a team that hits lefties better.
Well,
Let's talk Yankees Mets.
They faced the Yankees. Definitely faced a contender, and they got their asses handed to them. So I asked you and Brian what you guys thought on the Mets series in terms of what would happen. You both said 2-0. Yankees would do a clean sweep 2-0.
We got 2-0.
Turns out we got the reverse Uno card. We got swept 2-0. I predicted the 1-1. I thought we would win with the Montgomery game. I had no faith in the Scherzer-Herman game, which actually looked more like a game they could have won than the first game, which is funny how that worked out. It just felt like the whole series was backwards, honestly. Yeah. It really did. And I mean, Taijuan Walker, the Yankees jumped on him early, then they let him settle in after the first inning. And like that's what the Yankees can't do. Like they can't score off a guy early and then let him settle in. Yeah. I feel like that's been our problem all these years is you let these guys settle in. And another part of that too, I'll just briefly talk about the Montgomery thing, Danny. I'll let you break it down because you're our breakdown guy, of course.
Of course.
But Montgomery went 2 1/3 inning with 5 earned runs against the Mets. I mean, the Yankees jump out and they get you a 2-0 lead on a Judge and Rizzo back-to-back homers. They jump out, they get you a 2-0 lead and for a guy who bitches and complains about not getting run support. For a guy who doesn't, I mean, honestly, rightfully so, because the Yankees don't really give him much run support, but he finally got some, and then he comes out and he gives up a 4-run first inning against the Mets on an Eduardo Escobar home run. What was it? Was it a 3-run homer?
It was Eduardo Escobar, Starlin Marte first with the solo home run, then Pete Alonso, RBI double, then Eduardo Escobar 2-run homer.
So I'm just gonna say, and then I'll let you break it down, Danny. I'm just gonna say simply that can't happen. I mean,
cannot.
Jordan Montgomery, you need to be better. Yeah. You like everybody always talks about how this guy has the repertoire to really put it all together, and to me, he hasn't done it against. I don't know. I'm just gonna let you go at it, Danny. Go ahead.
I'm a big Monty guy. He pissed me off in this game. Like you said, he went 2 1/3 innings, and when Boone came to take him out, Monty goes, "Why?" He said, "Why? Fuck do you mean why?" He was pitching horrible, worst he's looked, and honestly, he hasn't looked great. He's been right, like he hasn't been the guy we saw in the beginning of the season. Obviously, his last 7 games, he has a 5.25 ERA in his last 7 starts. Not good. His last 15 starts is now up to a 3.98.
Keep in mind this game is also fresh off of the Mike King injury, and the bullpen was obviously not looking good at the moment, and he gave us 2 1/3 with Herman on the bump the next day. So just gonna say that
good. Our bullpen shut it down until Abreu gave up that run. But what really frustrated me in this game, like you said, we jumped off to the early lead, back-to-back homers. Then we give up the lead. Whatever. We give up the lead. It sucks, but we come back from it. Only 2 runs. The next 3 innings, we had runners in scoring position, and we only scored 1 run. We had bases loaded in one of those innings. We couldn't. Rizzo 3-0 swing with the bases loaded.
That was
I don't know
so
what
bad.
and you see a lot of people saying they like the 3-0 swing. Yeah, I like the 3-0 swing too. If he produces a run, sure.
Not only that, Danny, but he threw 7 straight balls.
Yeah,
Tell him what
it
was
was
his 7 straight balls.
the one before that the judge one, the judge walk, he was kind of pitching around Judge, you could tell. So that was more of like an intentional walk. But still, either way, if you're swinging 3-0, you have to produce a run. I don't care. Look, I don't care. He's earned the right to swing at 3-0. Sure, whatever. I don't mind the fact that he really swung 3-0. I mind that he didn't produce a run. If you're swinging 3-0, a run has to score with the bases loaded. Again, he hit it to the warning track. It almost went out. Great. Did it score a run? No. I don't care if he popped it up to the second baseman or if they robbed a home run from him. He didn't get the job done. It does not matter. If you're swinging 3-0, you have to produce. I don't care. Have to produce. Don't care where the ball landed. That's now in on that. But again, it felt like last year, runners in scoring position, that's what killed us. Again, we've been saying that a lot, which I hate to say, but again, this is a game that did feel like that. But we have been talking high on Boone this year. All right. Do you know where I'm going with this?
I do. I think I do.
We have been talking very high on Boone. Tell me why he pinch hits Joey Gallo in the top of the 8th for Isaiah Kiner-Falefa in a runner on first situation. Edwin Diaz coming in out of the bullpen. It was Adam Ottavino at the time. Whatever. Maybe they like the splits get out of Ottavino. I don't know why. I don't know what you could see. But Aaron Boone. We don't like Isaiah Kiner-Falefa, but we need a guy that's at least going to put the ball in play and not strike out on 4 pitches. Whatever. Because we saw it in the Houston game. IKF comes in off the bench. We're kind of like, what the hell's going on? But again, his 50 hopper that somehow found a hole. Like, yeah, all he does is hit 50 bounce ground balls that sometimes make it to the outfield, but that's what you need, because at least a 50 bounce ground ball has a chance of making it to the outfield and a chance for getting on base. If you're swinging at 3 straight strikes, what is the success rate of getting on base when you swing at 3 strikes and swing and miss at all 3 of them?
0%.
0%.
Were you asking me that? It was a rhetorical question.
I mean, I was wanting you to say 0% because it's the obvious answer, but it could have been rhetorical too. But it's 0% if you're swinging and missing at pit, and then especially when Edwin Diaz comes in, again, stupid fucking trumpets coming in. You knew that game was over. Well, you didn't know it was over. You knew that Gallo wasn't getting it done for sure. Gallo wasn't getting it done.
Let me give you a quick little tidbit on that Gallo Edwin Diaz thing. So for those of you who don't know how horrible of a matchup this was, this is literally, I think, probably the worst matchup in Major League Baseball. It's actually that bad. So let me just give you some numbers, okay?
Yeah.
Joey Gallo, where do you think he is, Danny, in terms of K percentage?
Percentiles?
Yes.
99, 98.
Well, he's first percentile.
That's what. Okay.
Yeah, right. Yeah. You just had it. Yeah.
99. 99.
Meaning, yeah. Right. So meaning, obviously,
bottom one.
I mean, he is the most strikeout prone guy in Major League Baseball, right?
Mm-hmm.
You look at Edwin Diaz.
Probably 99th.
Guess where he's at?
Backwards. He's probably 99th.
Edwin Diaz is in the 100th percentile of K percentage. Damn. That is statistically the worst matchup in Major League Baseball. And Aaron Boone made that decision.
It doesn't make any sense.
It's
again,
boneheaded. It's boneheaded.
To not to defend Boone, but to like maybe see what he was thinking. It was Adam Ottavino who was in the game when he pinch hit for Joey Gallo. But you have to think Joey Gallo coming to play. You have to think they're going to go to the guy that's going to strike him out. No,
dude, Buck Showalter was waiting for him to make that move.
Yeah,
that was
his
decision ever. He outmanaged him.
Even when Adam Ottavino is in, why? I get he throws slower. Maybe Gallo can run into an off speed. No, Gallo cannot because he's bad. It doesn't matter who's on the mound. I don't care if my 13-year-old cousin is on the mound. I don't want Gallo in there against him.
Look, this also we knock Gallo a lot. This isn't even to knock Gallo because like Gallo was just set up for failure in this situation.
Yeah, this was Boone. I don't know what he's doing in that situation. And again, Boone hasn't made a bunch of wrong decisions because with how good this team is, it's been hard to. But again, if this is a move, I'm not expecting Joey Gallo to be there in the playoffs. But if this is the type of move he's going to make in a playoff scenario, because this game felt like a playoff atmosphere. It was a big game, obviously, for both. It's a battle in New York. It's a big game, and that's what you do in the top of the 8th inning to try to save yourself from embarrassment losing to the Mets like this. Because again, anytime the Yankees lose to the Mets, as much as it shouldn't be, because the Mets are a good team, but it is kind of embarrassing because then you got to deal with the Mets on Twitter, the Mets fans on Twitter, which is always the worst. Always the worst.
And Instagram. Look, dude, they deserved it. I mean,
they're a very good team. I've
they're
said
a
this
good
all
team.
year.
They deserve the Mets fans like I mean, if the Yankees swept them 2-0, I'm not gonna lie, like I would be excited. Like I would
Obviously.
but like the Yankees, simple as it is, they got their asses handed to them. I mean, to be fair, I mean the Yankees didn't have the most ideal pitching matchups, but they also this is fresh when Giancarlo Stanton went on the IL, so they were missing Giancarlo Stanton. But
you're not gonna have your ace pitch
gotta,
every game in the playoffs either.
but like you can't make the excuses. Like this is you got to give credit when credit's due.
Mets are a very good team. I still obviously think the Yankees are better, but credit to the Mets. They had a good 2 games. Not a great 2 games. Again, that first game was very sloppy on the Yankees' part, and they were still in it, which kind of gave me some confidence. The fact they were still in it with a good team like the Mets. But obviously, you have to win. A very sloppy game for the Donaldson threw one away in that game too, which sucked.
Off of Lindor's head.
Yeah. Ugh, just bad. And the next day, all right, bounce back. Let's bounce back. But we got Herman on the mound. Tough to be confident in that. little. But I was confident. My boy Herman, want him to be good so bad. But second inning, and he didn't pitch bad at all. He really didn't. We didn't really expect anything more. 4 2/3, only 2 earned runs, 7 strikeouts. That's a really, really, really good outing from Herman. Like really good. I mean, it's not a good Cole outing, but for Herman, what did you expect from Herman? Not that. He could have made it through 5, 2 earned runs, 4 2/3, whatever. But that's a really good outing. He gave up the second inning home run to Pete Alonso. Then, of course, Lindor singled in a run. But guess who Lindor singled in, if you remember? Do you remember who Lindor singled in? Tomas Nido.
Oh, right.
How do you get a base? A double.
Right.
And
shitty hitting catchers.
What do I always say? What do I always say?
For those of you who don't or haven't already caught on, and Danny really put my eyes onto this because I never even noticed it until Danny brought it up. It's always the shitty hitting catchers against the Yankees. Always.
It's the Martin Maldonados. It's the Robinson Trinos. It's the Tomas Nidos that kill us. They kill us every day. I've been saying I want to make a T-shirt. Get this on a T-shirt. Shitty hitting catchers. Shitty hitting catchers. It's automatic at this point. If you're a team coming to play the Yankees and you have a shitty hitting catcher, good.
Get ready for you guys. Get ready for a fun night because
because like when Higgy somehow runs into one and how good that feels, I could only imagine whenever these shitty hitting catchers do stuff against the Yankees, how great that feels for their fan bases. Because whenever Higgy does something, it's like, hey, nice, Higgy, yeah.
I mean, I used to joke around with Alejandro Kirk because I mean, at the time he was the shitty hitting catcher. I always call him Jonah Hill, but I mean now of course he's a really good hitter now, but at the time I mean he was the shitty hitting catcher, and he's another guy who would always rake against us. So
it's just it's automatic. It's really automatic at this point. But then again, we couldn't.
I mean, not to bring up shitty. I mean, he's not a shitty hitting catcher, but another catcher. Go ahead, Danny.
All right, what were you gonna say?
I was gonna say Salvador Perez.
Oh yeah, I mean he's not a shitty hitting catcher.
Not a shitty hitting catcher, but like another catcher that got the best of us.
Yeah, but anyway, this game wasn't good. We couldn't really hit Scherzer. We were hitting a lot of balls hard, which I found interesting. We kind of got unlucky a lot. There were a lot of times we could have scored off Scherzer. We could have won this game very easily at a lot of different points. But in the top of the 8th inning, Gleyber Torres feeling the heat of trade talks, feeling the heat. 2-run homer to tie the game. That was very hype. That was really hype. Yep. 2-run homer to tie the game. But then, bottom of the 9th, Wandy comes in, blows the game. Sucks. Walk-off single. Always a tough way to lose, especially to a rival. You could consider the Mets a rival. I think you could consider the Mets a rival.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
But
crosstown rival.
Yeah, definitely a tough way to lose 2 games, especially when they go for the sweep. Then again, about an hour later, we get the news of Andrew Benintendi and completely washed this from my mind. One thing I do want to say, Licky had a really good outing in this game. Clay Holmes did as well. And Wandy was the one to blow it in this game. And again, we had to use 4 arms out of the bullpen. The night before, we used 4 or 5 as well. The night before, we used 5 arms out of the bullpen. So that is 9 guys coming out of the bullpen. Obviously, we had some crossovers like Wandy and Loizaga pitched again. But still, five pitching changes, 6 pitching changes, I guess,
Yeah,
is rough in a game.
sure.
And then having another 5 the next day, it takes a toll. It takes a toll, especially when you're having a 4-game series that later in that week. It takes a toll.
And speaking of the 4-game series, well, are you ready to move into that? I mean, yeah.
Another,
So
again, we'll see the Mets again in late August. It was a tough series. Good for them. They won. They got the better of us. Hats off.
We'll see what happens in the Bronx. We'll see what happens.
Hats
But
off.
I do want to cover the Royals series briefly, just because I feel like we've been on here for a while, and I don't want to. I know you. Shout out to you, Danny. I know you got to be up in like 2 hours now, so I don't know how you're gonna do that.
I don't know how I'm gonna do it.
But I do want to get you as much sleep as you can possibly get for sure. But and they took 3 out of 4 games in this set, and we talked about the Judge walk-off a little bit. I mean, the Yankees couldn't hit at all in that first game. Who started that game, Danny? Do you know off the top of your head?
For the Royals?
Was it Nestor?
That was.
Oh no, for the Yankees.
Tyone, that was. So he had a good
Tyone.
Yep.
Tyone pitched a solid game. Nothing more to that really than other than just the Yankees couldn't get anything going until Judge hit the walk-off, to be honest.
Yeah. That was another time Chapman was warming up in the bullpen in the bottom of the 9th. He was going to come pitch the 10th, and that's another. I know he had a good game in Queens, but again, you see Chapman, you're like, shit. Especially with the runner on second, like, oh, come on, why?
Judge definitely
Judge was like,
Judge did not want Chapman touching the mound in that game for sure.
But yeah, Brady Singer, go Gators. Brady Singer shut us down.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, hats off to Brady Singer because he really showed us off.
You could always in these games, these low-scoring games, you could either bad offense or do you give the pitcher credit? It's always that question. Was it just bad we couldn't hit, or give the other pitcher credit? And I think this is a situation where got to give him credit. He looked great. He looked really good.
I mean, he made Benintendi look like a fool, and Benintendi's not a guy who strikes out. So, I mean, that sinker had so much run to it, man. It was like I was watching a frisbee. It was insane.
He looked really good.
But and then the second game, I'll let you cover that up.
I mean, again, 1 run, but like has a lot of our hot streaks have started this year. Big walk-off. Judge hit that walk-off, ignited a rally. 11 runs in the next game. Rizzo homering, Judge homering twice. Benintendi with a RBI infield single.
That's the night that Luis Castillo got traded too.
That is the same night Luis Castillo got traded.
It was a good win for a bad trade news night.
Yeah, but again, the big thing in this game, I think, aside from the Judge 2-home run game, Garrett Cole, 5 earned runs again. I know it was tough because he didn't have help behind him. An error by Rizzo, 2 errors. Well, 3 errors by the Yankees defense that didn't count as errors, of course, because the official scorer, IKF's brother, IKF had 2 errors in that inning that they didn't call errors. One where he bobbled it and then spiked it into the ground. And then another one was a hard hit baseball, tough play, yes, but as a defensive specialist shortstop, you make it. And he looked scared of the ball. He got out of the way of the ball, tried to olay it. Like, it can't be doing that.
Someone on Twitter,
New York Yankees, Jeter would have got in front of that ball, but
someone on Twitter called IKF I can't field.
I like that.
Spelled can't with a K. I'm gonna look for that to give them credit, but go ahead.
I can't field. That is a great way to describe how he was. Again, that is tough. You could say the ace of a staff should be able to bear down and get out of it, but again, you're making the guy get 5 outs. So really, there's 2 sides to that argument. Whichever way you want to go, you think the ace should get out of it, or the defense got to be better. IKF has to be better, like we've said all year.
Yeah, I'm with you on that, and I'm a combination between both. I think too, because like at the end of the day, I do want to see Cole get out of those situations because that shit's gonna happen, and he's got to. Yeah. I feel like Cole more often than not, Garrett Cole more often than not, like goes through these mental things in his head. Weird. And it's like once he gets into a little bit of funk, like he can't get out of it. Like he's stuck.
I think back early in the season, the Rays game. Do you remember that when the umpire strike 3 call and then he blew
the G-Man Choi non-strike 3 call? Yep. Yeah, I remember that very vividly. I like he's gotta at some point learn to mentally like bear down because
Mm,
that's not gonna fly. But also like you said, like he had to get like 5 outs that inning. So like how much more can he really do, you know?
yeah, and he was pitching good up until that point. And it sucks. It sucks. And then the next day we scored 8. Today we scored 6. We won 8-2 the next day. But really, the offense got going. Finally, again, the offense got going. You could say Kansas City Royals. I don't believe in that. It's Major League Baseball. Every day is tough. Doesn't matter who you're facing. Obviously, it might be a little easier facing a guy like Chris Bubich over Max Scherzer, but still.
Oh, bitch.
Yeah, still. DJ homered in that game. He also homered today. Back-to-back home run days for DJ, which was good. Glaber double. Mayhew another RBI later. Benintendi sack fly, and then Carpenter finally another home run. Feel like I've been waiting for that for a little bit. He's been kind of on the downslide a little bit, but still, he's been great.
Andrew Benintendi has tied Joey Gallo in career sack flies with the New York Yankees, just for reference. So, but anyways, sorry, Danny. Keep doing your thing. Keep
Get
doing
runs
your thing.
home. Get runs home. Sack flies. They work. Joey Gallo.
And that's not a fake stat, by the way, for those listening. That's a real. No, that's a, like I'm being dead
Yeah.
serious.
Oh yeah, that is a real stat.
Yeah. So
That is a real stat. And
continue.
what's the percentage of RBIs when you strike out? Not high. So Gallo,
None.
come on, man. I hate ripping on him because again, he's a good guy.
Oh,
did you
Danny,
see that
that
interview?
article.
Oh, I got it. We got to talk about that. We have to
Oh,
talk about that.
oh,
That article. Let me just say, today the Yankees went down 4-0, came back, made it 4-3, and then we Rizzo hit a 3-run home run to take the lead, and then Clay Holmes blew it in the ninth in a rough 3-run home run by Salvador Perez. But let's get to that Joey Gallo article.
yeah. And just to say, obviously, you can't expect a sweep for any series. So shit happens. You know, it's gonna catch up to you. It's baseball. But anyways,
Yep.
Man, dude, that article by Lindsay Adler is just absolutely heartbreak. When I woke up to that article and I was reading the quotes, I was like, oh my god. I was like, this poor man has really like I've always said on the podcast, like at the end of the day, like I don't like Joey Gallo. I don't, but he's a human being. But man, reading this made me really feel.
I got some.
Do you have the quotes pulled up by any chance?
I got some of the quotes up. And first off, let me say last year in the game against the Mariners where he had the curtain call and he was the hero, whatever, he came out in an interview because, again, Yankee fan, growing up, his family loved the Yankees, whatever. He said in that interview that, yeah, it's tough. I've been struggling for a week, but finally got some success, hopefully continued success in New York here. And I know my family's at home and hopefully they're proud of what I've done. Sorry, Joe. They're probably not proud, man. I'm sorry to say it. It sucks to say. They're probably not very proud now. But quotes from this article, and it's crazy because he's still on the team playing that, and they're asking him these questions, which has to hurt even more.
Yeah.
But he said, every time I see a Yankees hat, every time I see a Yankees jersey, it's something I'm going to have to understand. I didn't play well as a Yankee. I wish I had. Then he said, I feel bad. It's something I'm going to have to really live with for the rest of my life. It's going to be tough. I didn't play well. I didn't live up to expectations, and that's a tough pill to swallow.
It's like you said, Danny. He grew up a Yankee fan. His family's Yankee fans, and he was so excited about the opportunity of being here. I remember when he was first traded here, which was a year ago, 2 days ago, I think it was.
Yeah.
And I just remember, like, I'm like, I'll admit it. Like, I was really excited when they got Joey Gallo, and I thought it was gonna be a lot of fun, but obviously, it didn't work out, and it's devastating to see him having these reactions because, like, you don't really get that, like, from the players. Like, you see them struggling, but like, you don't get like how they're feeling, especially like you don't get that while they're with the team still.
I saw that coming in the offseason, maybe.
Not even like the off season. Like, you get that. I feel like you get that kind of stuff like when you retire. Like, I feel like, but I mean, shout out to Joey Gallo for really answering on those questions honestly, because
I wouldn't.
I would imagine that was probably really tough for him to do.
Mm-hmm.
And even seeing like the Yankees just traded for Benintendi, like he's sharing a clubhouse right now with the guy who's replacing him. Like, that can't be easy. Like, that's probably another. I'm gonna say it again, another tough pill to swallow. But my heart, honestly, like, my heart breaks for him. Like now in that
Oh,
aspect, I really do hope he finds a good home when he gets traded. He's a free agent after the year, so he can go wherever he wants.
look, I hope we trade him, and I hope he finds success. If he goes somewhere, it's 40 home runs in the month of August and September.
Well, that would
Obviously,
suck.
possible. No, I don't think it would suck at all. I would be happy for him. I'd root for that. I would want him to be good. Luke Voigt's been hot too for the Padres. I've been seeing.
Has he really?
Yeah, I've been seeing a little bit of Luke Voigt here and there, but yeah, I would root for Joey Gallo. It wouldn't suck because it doesn't matter if he goes and rakes somewhere else. He wasn't going to do it here. He has to get out of here because, like, you could say if we kept him, we would have had someone awesome. Like, no, we wouldn't. He wouldn't do it here. I'll root for him. I hope he goes to San Diego. It helps them get to the World Series to lose to the Yankees.
Atlanta.
Imagine if Joey, he goes to the Padres or the Brewers or something, and it's we face him in the World Series, and he's betting clean up for whoever.
He hits the World Series home run, like the
stop.
hero,
No. We would win. We would win. We
the
beat
hero
him.
the hero home run.
Yeah, he'll tie the game in the top of the ninth. The Yankees win in the bottom of the ninth. How about that?
He's somehow got a pretty big market, like San
Yeah.
Diego, Atlanta, Milwaukee,
Minnesota, I saw in for a little
Minnesota, yeah. So we'll see what happens with that.
bit. What they see, I don't know, but
Well,
take him.
poor
Take him.
Joe.
Get him
Poor
out of
Joe.
New York. As much as I feel bad for the guy, just get him out of here. Please.
It's time for
Best
both
for
sides
him.
to move on.
It's best for him. It's
right?
best for us.
Yeah,
Get him out.
it really is. But
Someone take him.
so we'll see what happens with that. Danny, I wanted to leave off with one more thing. I wanted to ask you. By next week, what other moves will the Yankees have made? What is your final the next time we record? What is your final prediction before
We'll have another starting pitcher on the roster. Whether it's Rodon, whether it's Cinder. We didn't even talk about Jose Quintana in trade talks for us.
I was literally just going
Noah
to mention him
Syndergaard.
because I just thought of him.
Noah Syndergaard too, which I
Syndergaard-
wouldn't like either of them. Jose Quintana has been better than Syndergaard this year, surprisingly enough. Jose Quintana is a 3.5 ERA, but again,
Wow, you pulled that up quick. Holy shit.
would I trust him? Would I trust him in a playoff series? Probably not, because again, this is the first year he's been good since about 2016. Noah Syndergaard as well has a 3.83 ERA. Again,
So
that's like back end of our rotation right now. So really, do we want to do that? Yeah,
They need a number 2. That's what they need,
Yes,
which is
we
what
need a
the
number
top
2.
heavy guys are.
that's not a number 2. Quintana wouldn't be a number 2. So I think Rodon, Montas, I think that's the way to go. Pablo Lopez, Sandy Alcantara, but
Yes, Sandy
yeah,
Alcantara.
they would never. But yeah, no, I think it's got to be Rodon or Montas or Pablo Lopez. I wouldn't be mad about a Syndergaard or Quintana. I wouldn't be happy about it.
Oh, dude, I would be so mad. Or if they got Thor.
You know what? I would be mad.
I would be so mad if they got Thor because that means they're just settling, Danny.
Honestly, I think I would be more mad at Syndergaard than I would Quintana. But I think I would be mad either way. I would definitely not want Syndergaard. I think I could warm up to the idea of Quintana maybe, but not really. I would be not happy with either move. I think Quintana over Syndergaard.
It's the wildest thing too. Before all the Syndergaard Yankees rumors came out, I had a dream the Yankees traded for Syndergaard.
Man. So that's
literally that next day, the trade rumors came out of Syndergaard.
So we got Syndergaard basically.
Pretty much.
That's what that means. But Quintana, he hasn't really had a good year since 2016. Like I said, he had a 3.2 ERA and was an all-star with the Chicago White Sox. Then the Chicago Cubs gave up a ton to get him, and then his career has gone downhill from there. 2017, yeah, just bad. He hasn't had below a 4 ERA since 2016 until now, where he has a 3.5. But
I mean,
yeah, not the best.
I don't even think like I think if they were to go after Rodon, like I don't even think he would be that expensive. Like he's a rental.
No.
He's
Brian said today, he texted us today that he did the trade analyzer thing, and I think Pereira got you Rodon.
Straight up.
I think based on the trade value.
That's a no-brainer to me. That's a no-brainer.
Yeah, I think he would be less expensive than Montas would be. So
I think so too. And I think he's better than Montas.
Yeah. I think I would trust him more. Again, plus the injury concerns with Montas this year.
So that's my wish list. I wanted Castillo, but now that's my new updated wish list.
Rodon or Montas.
Rodon. I'm gonna go Rodon 1A, Montas 1B.
Yep.
Is there even like a
No,
C.
I think that's it. We don't want
I
Quintana.
don't want anyone else.
We don't
Of
want
course,
Quintana.
they need to add someone, but
Again,
I don't.
Quintana, maybe I could warm up if he pitched solid for us. Syndergaard, I don't think I would be able to. I think he wouldn't pitch good for us. I don't think he would. But imagine, Syndergaard pitching in the Subway Series late August.
Yeah,
No.
yeah. The Yankees lit him up this year when he was with the Angels.
Yeah.
He up like I don't even think he got out of the first inning.
Yeah, no, we did hit him. I don't remember exactly what happened, but I think we did hit him good.
Yeah. So hopefully that's not the route they take. But anyways, we didn't get the breaking news that we wanted to get on here, but if we're available for another emergency pod episode, if something big happens, then be on the lookout for that. Make sure to keep up with our Instagram at Spread in the News. Keep up with our Twitter at official STN pod. And subscribe to us on YouTube, like our video if you're watching on YouTube. And yeah, and make sure to keep up with our content. If something happens, who knows? Maybe me and Danny. Who knows? Maybe me and Danny might be on the train tomorrow. Something will happen. We'll go live.
Go a little live on Instagram tomorrow.
Little live. Who knows?
Go follow us on Instagram. Like Chase said, Spread in the News to see some vlogging from the baseball game.
On our Instagram story, maybe we'll make it into a post. Who knows? Who knows? We'll see what happens.
A little collage of them.
It's gonna be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to it.
Can't wait. Maybe I'll vlog from Giants camp. No, I'm just kidding. It's not not a Giants podcast. Not a Giants podcast.
Danny, you could just do a day in your life. Like you could start in 2 hours when you wake up.
Oh shit! Oh my god, I forgot about that for a second. I gotta wake up in 2 hours.
Yeah. So shout out to Danny, everyone. Clap it up for Danny.
Of course, pleasure to be here. I did this for my uncle. He wants to hear this on the train Tuesday. He's got to hear it on the train.
What's his name?
Steve.
Uncle Steve. Thank you. Thank you for being a loyal listener. I appreciate it.
Yes, of course.
Uncle Steve. But that's all I got.
Again, the rest of the season, the best ability is
availability.
Nobody gets hurt for the rest. Let's just trade for Rodon. Let's go. Get Stanton.
Me, Carlos Rodon. Thank you everyone for listening. Like I said, you have our socials. And we will hopefully see you on an emergency pod episode.
Hopefully. Let's go.
Thank you all and goodbye. Peace.